Hi guys, so I have a short video for you today. We're gonna talk about if face and body don't match. I recently had a Q&A post here in my community on YouTube, and there were several people who asked about this, and from time to time I see these questions. Sometimes that can happen that face seems like not matching the body. Very often, seeing just the face, you can kind of predict what the body looks like, and I think I talked about this in this video about faces. I'm gonna leave the link down below. So you can kind of predict the bone structure on the bottom there just looking at the face, which is interesting. And I sometimes challenge myself to do that. When some ladies send me photos, I never read their height. So first, I just do everything based on my own perceptions, and first I just check the face. And then I kind of make this mark for myself, what her body probably looks like, first of all, and then her height. And it's interesting because in 80% I'm correct. In 20% it's harder for me. Sometimes face really different from the body. Sometimes face is elongated and pretty strong looking and the body looks pretty small. Or sometimes face is more sharp and then the body is more soft. Sometimes that happens, or opposite things. If you ask me, of course, that is a little bit harder cases, right? Not very easy to say from the beginning, because when you are choosing the recommendations, clotheslines for this person, you have to consider everything. So we scan her head to toe, we see her head to toe, we see her head and the body together. So it's always perception all together. So the clothes has to marry head and the body. And type, it's also a tendency. We can't consider just the body to type a person. We can't consider just the head to type the person. Sometimes the body structure is so pronounced, it's so purely this type, you can't even imagine any other type for this particular body. Then these recommendations just would work, and the face will look also pretty harmonized with these recommendations for the body, because it's just obvious, it's very obvious. Sometimes the body is not obvious, but face is more obvious. In this case, what I do, I just marry that and just see, because it's still yin and yang balance, so we consider the amount of yin characteristics in the whole body and yang characteristics in the whole body, including facial features, facial shape, bones and eyes and proportions, also elongation, some widths, how the neck goes to the shoulders and the shoulder and stuff like that. So it's all the relations of different parts of the body and how it's all connected. So I do try to marry face and the body, and it's interesting examples because I had a video, Kibbe retyped those celebrities. You can watch that. I'm gonna leave the link down below. It's very interesting. He retyped Charlize Theron from theatrical romantic to flamboyant natural. You might say, wow, that's a big difference. How you don't see it? What? Like you don't understand your own technology or what? I absolutely can see how that could happen. First of all, the pictures and the way they dress her can really fool us sometimes with different angles, with different clothes and with different lighting. She can be presented in a certain image that can make us feel like she's more that type. So they pretty often dress her in very luxurious things, in very glamorous, and also her face. So I think he saw her face pretty often, and her face looks, when it's separate from the body, it looks pretty delicate. Chiseled, pretty small facial features, small nose, round and full sensual lips, big sensual eyes, yeah? But probably as soon as he checked her height in Google, and then as soon as he saw her pictures on the beach with her full body, where there's no light, no special angle for the photo, then he could see that she's just purely flamboyant natural. And if we check her pictures with other celebrities, we don't care about what these celebrities' body types are. It really gives us a little bit more information about the relative sizes of things. And then you can definitely see that she's flamboyant natural. She does look good in some glamorous, even in chiseled things, but still, if she is wearing too small, too color blocked, too tiny, too sharp, too sleek, then we can see that we can see large bones, we can see angularity, we can see her height. So in her case, her body is so obviously flamboyant natural, so we can marry her face with her body, and actually all those recommendations for flamboyant naturals are gonna fit her. And from theatrical romantic, not really. She's gonna look too large and too angular if she follows all the recommendations for theatrical romantic, because theatrical romantic are bird-like. They have bird-like bone structure, and she doesn't. And theatrical romantics are normally having pretty small part here in many cases. Shoulders sharp, narrow, and she has very wide. So obviously the clothes is gonna look different on her. Another interesting example would be Gwyneth Paltrow, because I've seen some people would like to see her in dramatic classic category because she has pretty balanced face with some sharpness in it. But again, this is the same thing. So if we look at her body is obviously too elongated and not very proportionate, not as balanced as dramatic classics body. And that's enough basically for her to pull off recommendations for flamboyant natural type with that particular face, which gives her, of course, a certain vibe, a certain character. And I think if she mixes in some chiseled things, that also can look pretty nice on her. And also, if we check her pictures with other celebrities, you can see a little bit more of her bigger bone structure. Now, her mother, Blythe Danner, she was typed by Kibbe many years ago as soft classic. Again, for the same reason. Probably he has seen these pictures of her being younger, and then he probably didn't see her full body in action. But then he reassigned her to flamboyant natural as well, when he probably had an access to more pictures of her. And then he realized that she's more elongated and she is bigger up here, and she's just more angular than soft classics, and she's not as proportionate as soft classics down there. So he could see that and he retyped her. But what really I think fooled him a little bit is her soft lips, but not super lush and voluptuous, but just very moderate lips, and large round eyes, and also oval face with some softness. When she was younger, that was some youthful softness in her face that also could probably fool him on those years. Another interesting example, which is very similar to those three, is Nicole Kidman. She also has, some people say, pretty classic face. I agree. She has not very prominent facial features, but I think it happened after surgeries, first of all. If you check her pictures before she had all those surgeries, you can really see natural face, first of all. You don't see flamboyant natural yet, probably, because you don't see her body, but you definitely can see natural face, yeah? And then you can see some elongation when you look at her body, and then you can assume that she is more flamboyant natural type because she has that elongated vertical line. And then you can see her pictures with other people and you can actually check how she looks like head to toe. Yeah, she's a little bit more chiseled than other flamboyant naturals probably. Yes, probably her upper part is not as wide, for example, as we can see in Cindy Crawford's case, yeah? But you just try to apply the recommendations and then you see that they just work. They work on her beautifully. And also when she played Grace Kelly is classic and Nicole Kidman is flamboyant natural. So you can actually see how all those classic things, how they make her slightly more elongated and long. Yeah, you can see her arms being longer, her chest area being longer. And sometimes when you look at her face, it looks more or less fine. But then when we look head to toe, we can actually see the difference. Also, very youthful face of Taylor Swift, but she's being dramatic. Everything in her is dramatic, probably besides of her cheeks and the shape of her face, probably that. But she likes that preppy girl style. She likes that gamine or soft gamine style every day. So she really breaks the vertical line. She really likes short pieces. She likes cropped pieces. Compared to those pieces, she does look elongated. She does look very long. Her legs look very long. Her arms look very long. But she is more narrow in bone structure. So this is why she's more dramatic. But we're gonna wait and see which style she chooses when she's older. I think that is when she will play more with elongated silhouettes and more minimalistic style. So we're gonna see that. Lily Cole, the model, she's not soft gamine, of course, but she has like a baby face. They call it baby face, but if you compare her to other girls or something like that, you can see that her facial bones, even though the structure of her face and her facial features are a bit like more doll-like, but the bones are still stronger. Yes, her body is large and she has larger upper part here and she's very long and elongated. So she can't be just soft gamine just by face if her body is like that. It's just by definition is not gonna work, but she can definitely marry that. She can add some youthfulness to her overall style because everyone has a character. To me, every woman is like from a fairy tale. So everyone has her own vibe and character. I don't want to say personality because we pick up so many personalities on our way depending on who admires what and things like that and who tells us what. And then we just grab all those and we just personality. It's just sometimes appears to be not ours at all in the end. But character, yeah, like if you just let it go, live your life not looking at yourself, not having attention on the way how you look and stuff, if you're just out there completely, your whole attention is not on yourself but out there, so you're acting very natural and stuff, you're interested in life, not in yourself, so that is an outflow from you out there. So in this case, I think, yeah, so that is a character, and character is really seen. So I think everyone is a character. And even though there's like just 13 categories, but we have several billion people, so everyone is a character. So we can see characters and we can see how different they can be. And everyone has her own vibe that is not unlike anyone else on planet Earth. So that is for her to figure out and to add to her look, even if she uses kibbe recommendations. Miranda Kerr, also, she has pretty full face. If she would delete those cheeks, she would have more chiseled bone structure here. Pure flamboyant natural. Yeah, just some cheeks. The majority of answers is flamboyant natural, and just 1 or 2 is, I don't know, romantic or something else. That doesn't make you romantic automatically, even though sometimes it's seen. Yeah, she can add some roundness probably to her look, but still, if we talk about line and silhouette and fabrics, it's gonna look perfect on her if she follows the flamboyant natural recommendations, even with that soft face. Zendaya, another interesting example. She has pretty youthful face, but then again, her body is very elongated. And if you compare her to other people, you can see how elongated she is. So we really have to marry her face with her bottom. Some people say that she looks like soft gamine, but we can't just judge by the face, otherwise the recommendations, she also has a body. Recommendations just won't work perfectly on that. She can add some interesting things from childishness. She's also a character. She's like a part of our fairy tale, right? So she can add something interesting to her. Also her profession, it also matters. Chloe Savigny, or Savigny, I don't know how to pronounce, pretty flamboyant natural face, but her body is not as elongated and as wide as flamboyant naturals. So this is probably why David Kibbe put her into soft natural category, because we still have to marry the face and the body. So her face has pretty prominent and large bones, yeah, pretty angular bones. Her body is just slightly smaller and slightly softer. So we can't just judge her by her body. You know, if you just cut off the head, okay, this body, what it can be, I don't know. Many things depend on head. This is why sometimes when somebody sends me a picture, can you determine what my body type is? And they cut off the head and they only send me the picture from the neck to the toes. It's useless. It can be any type. Just we need to see the size of the head, the features, everything matters. All the proportions, head to toe. Madonna, Christina Ricci, Helena Bonham Carter. Some people say, why they're romantics? If you look at their bodies, they have very romantic frame. If you look at their faces, all of them have slightly sharp nose and slightly sharp chin and the jawline. So this is what makes just these 3 things. Madonna also has also sharp lips. Just these 3 things, and people are totally going to different directions. They just can't believe. Yes, these characteristics are pretty loud. Of course, it's the face. But still, if you look at overall combination, it's still the frame is romantic. You can do much about it. And Madonna, yes, she's overworked a little bit, so she does look much more yang now than yin. But there's still romantic frame by definition. So if we dress them everything gamine, it won't suit. We're not talking about style, we're talking about just the lines and the way how fabric lies on your body. We're only talking about this. Alright, I hope that was interesting. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Subscribe on my Pinterest for 13 boards as an inspiration for the body types. Also, you can subscribe on my Instagram. All the links I'm gonna leave down below. Also, you can become my sponsor or subscribe on my Patreon for some exclusive videos, some early access to these videos, and just if you want to support me and my channel. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.